Vicky Marie, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are in this crazy world we're living in. I hope you're all well. I hope you're all happy. I hope you're all coping with this crazy life that we're in the middle of. And what we're going to talk about in this video is the Baby Emmanuel case. Little baby Emmanuel Haro disappeared, didn't he? Was snatched, according to his so-called parents, snatched when Rebecca Haro was trying to get some nappies or something out the back of the car, some load of rubbish that she came out with. Let's have a look at her. So these are baby Emmanuel's so-called parents. We've got Rebecca with her black eye there that she supposedly got from the person that kidnapped Emmanuel. And then the great big piece of shit, Jake Haro, pretending to cry there. But he really was crying when he was handed down his life sentence. He was literally weeping. Now, I don't feel like he was weeping for Emmanuel. He's weeping for himself. He knows his life's gone to hell in a handcart for his own actions. Anyway, so they did say, didn't they, just a little recap, they said that Emmanuel had been snatched. Guy with a Mexican accent, wearing a sombrero, probably was he. Anyway, apparently said hola to Rebecca. And when she turned around, he punched her in the face. That's where she got the black eye from, according to her at the time. And when she came round, she went unconscious. When she came round, that little baby, Emmanuel, had just disappeared, been snatched by this Mexican guy. You know, just how did they ever think that they would get away with that ridiculous story? But anyway, it very quickly sort of became apparent that it was a ridiculous story. One thing led to another. In the end, the Harrows were arrested, and Jake, we should call him Giant POS, he has pled guilty to the murder but second degree murder, I think he pled guilty to. I can't remember. But anyway, he pled guilty. It doesn't matter. He's just received his sentence of 25 years to life. But other things that came out, of course, were that, in fact, this Giant POS, he had done this before. He had attacked another of his children before. And he had virtually received a slap on the wrist and nothing more. This is what he did to one of his other children. And this little girl, you know, and I'm not going to go into the details of all the injuries, but let's put it this way. She was left blind. She'll never be independent. She needs 24-hour care for the rest of her life. And she's very fortunately been looked after by a family member. How could you? So really, just looking at that picture, in fact, I've got to take it off because it's so upsetting. I'm so sorry. It makes you wonder what state little Emmanuel was in, because he didn't survive his injuries. He is dead. Jake has said he is dead, but his remains have not been found. I don't think they're ever going to be found, which is very sad, because, well, there's lots of theories as to what he may have done with them. Only Jake knows that. Only Jake and his God, and probably Rebecca, know that. So we have got another case here, haven't we, of a mother putting her partner before her own child. Because I think there's undoubtedly domestic abuse in this relationship. And I'm sure Rebecca is under his, I don't know, coercive control. That black eye that she had is undoubtedly come from him, because, of course, it didn't come from the Mexican, because the Mexican never existed. So it's undoubtedly come from him. But so I understand why she would have been scared of him. But what I don't understand is, once you just got an opportunity to get away from him for an hour, you would go straight to the police. Or was she scared? Because last time he only got a slap on the wrist for hurting his child so much. Was she scared that he wouldn't get taken away and never come back? Or is she just a piece of shit as well? She's not much better, is she? And this is a photo of baby Emmanuel when, supposedly was alive. I don't even know if he is alive in that photo. I know it's a horrible thought, but he's not right. The way he's holding his head, etc. You could see with the close-ups of his eyes are not right. This baby will have been abused from the day he was born. Just so very sad. Little innocent life. Never known anything but abuse. And the general public loves this child more than the parents who were supposed to love him. The other thing I just want to point out before I get into this video properly, this is Jake holding the missing poster when Emmanuel first went missing. Missing kid. Do you know, is it just me, or that's just like, what? Missing kid, not missing child. Just seems so disrespectful, doesn't it? Missing kid. Yeah, one of my kids. Just, I don't know. Everything from the word go must have screamed to law enforcement that Jake and Rebecca were covering something up. Make a missing poster, a child poster, and you say missing kid. I mean, I think I'd be tempted to put like, my son is missing, can you help? But, that kind of thing, or certainly missing child, not missing kid. But there you go. We know why now, because all the time, this piece of shit, he knew exactly what happened to his missing kid. Okay, so before I get right into it, we're going to look at, go back a little bit and look at their first appeals, for help. We're going to look at where the victim impact statement from Rebecca's mother, which I think was very, very poignant and very, very emotional. And she said a lot of things that I've been thinking as well about this. I feel for that family, Rebecca's side of the family. Rebecca's mum says in this victim impact statement, as you'll say, she doesn't know what happened to her daughter. He has definitely been the bad influence on Rebecca, but then Rebecca has gone along with it. It's like she reminds me so much of Myra Philpott in the Philpott case. She's spellbound by him. He's like got her under some spell that I don't understand. But and she said how she changed when she got with Jake. I think Jake is definitely the driving force. But then Rebecca, she's the mother. How could she let this happen? And then once it happened, how could she not say anything, go to the police? Anyway, there you go. Another one of these strange women who just, anything for a relationship, isn't it? She's in a, kill my kid. Doesn't matter as long as you stay with me. As long as as long as I'm in a relationship. Anyway. So yeah, thank you for watching. Thank you for liking. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you to those of you who sent me Ko-fis, super stickers, emailed me, left nice messages. Thank you to all of you, and especially, of course, my members. Thank you to all of you that support my channel in any way. Thank you so much. And hi there, lovely lurkers. Hope you're all well. It's a very sort of chilly morning in Spain. Well, say chilly, it's 15 degrees. That is quite chilly, but it's nice. It's good. It's comfortable. Hope the weather's good where you are, whatever weather you like. I mean, we all have, I quite like a bit of cold because I live in a hot country. But yeah, I know when you live in a cold country, you quite like a bit of sun. Hello to Replay Crew. Thank you so much for watching. And now I'm going to come into the chat and see who's brave enough to put their head above the parapet. Now, I do think with this case, it is one of those where we're universally, what's the word, in agreement. You know, sometimes in cases, especially before we know the facts of cases, like, you know, the outcomes, you know, we do have different opinions, don't we, sometimes in things, which is fine. That's what this community is here for, so that people can have their different opinions, but not be nasty to people who have a different opinion to them, including me, of course. But yeah, I do think this is a case where we all more or less have the same opinion, isn't it? I don't think there'll be anybody in the chat sticking up for Jake Haro. Let's put it that way. Hi, David. Yep, it was a bullshit story, exactly. How did they ever think they would get away with it? Or, you know, I just don't understand it. Hi, Darren. Hi, Lily. Yeah, happy Tuesday. Yeah. Oh, cold there, David. Yeah, I suppose it will be now. You're right, coming into winter now there in Bonnie, Scotland. So, yeah, let's do that. Let's go back and look at the very first, the interview. Let's see. Have I got any things that I can put down? Because I've got too many windows open, as usual. But some of them I don't need anymore. Yeah, let's look at this video first that came up on X. This was, I thought this was good, the way it was presented. You notice, see, look at it, little Emmanuel there. His eyes are not right. He looks like already like he has some sort of brain image injury on the left-hand side photo. And then on these other photos, he's always sort of lying down. He never seems to hold his head up properly. You know, he's probably, as I say, abused from the minute he was born, bless him. So here they were. Up at the top here, we've got them on, you know, when they were appealing for help for their missing kid. Rebecca with her fading black eye that had supposed to have happened just the day before or something.
We come to you guys asking you to help us find our son. He was abducted last night from Big 5. Somebody struck my wife while she was trying to change his diaper. And
somebody struck my wife while she was trying to change his diaper. God, I mean, it's the worst acting you've ever seen in your life. And he struggles to find tears in this original appeal, whereas you see here underneath, this is him while he was being sentenced. He was crying genuinely. There were tears rolling down his face because this time he's crying for himself. He couldn't produce a tear when he was still free and he was pleading for Emmanuel. He couldn't produce a tear because he knew exactly what he'd done. She can't even look up because she knows exactly what he's done as well. I mean, he's definitely pulling the strings, but that's not an excuse for her, is it, to go along with it? And, you know, and they've got another child as well. I mean, God, I'm surprised that child got away with it. You know, the thing is, some children, babies, are good, aren't they? They don't cry much and they just are good. I think I might have mentioned this before. I know with my neighbours, they've got 2 children. And the first child they had, you would never have known there was a baby in the house. You never heard a peep out of that baby. So she must have been quite a good baby, not much crying and that. Oh, when the second one was born, the son. Oh God, he was constantly crying. Oh my God, you would never have mistaken there was a baby in the house. So this is what I'm saying. Some kids are better than others. Like, not some kids do cry a lot for whatever reason. It might be because they've got gripe, or they've got, or just some babies are more insecure. Just like all people have different personalities. So I think that the other child that they have, the little girl, maybe she was just a good baby. I think Jake, he just wouldn't have any patience, would he? If maybe Emmanuel was crying, or because it doesn't even work. It doesn't even work, but it was probably disrupting his time that he wanted to play on the PlayStation or do what other crap, stupid things that he does with his time. And it'd be like, oh, disturbing me while I'm trying to watch the football, or I'm trying to play on this PlayStation. It's not as if he had to get up for work the next day or anything. Anyway, why does he keep on having children? I mean, yeah, you got children in a previous relationship, children now. Well, he did have two with Rebecca. He then got one now because he murdered the other one. But, why did he have all these children? And what do these women see in him? I mean, he's not got a nice personality, obviously, because he's a domestic abuser and a murderer of babies. And he's not exactly love's young dream, is he, in the looks department? So what do women see in him? Was Rebecca so desperate to be in a relationship that even he would do?
We just ask if anybody knows anything to please contact Ukaipa Police Department.
Don't hesitate, just call.
His name's Emmanuel. He's 7 months. He's 7 months old.
He's 7 months. He's 7 months old. So yeah, he couldn't produce any genuine tears when he was appealing for Emmanuel's return, because he knew that Emmanuel wasn't coming back. But he didn't seem to feel any remorse about what he'd done. You'd think he could have produced a few real tears. He produced enough real tears when he was being sentenced. And she's just there, yeah, just like Mary Philpott, just hanging on his every word, pretending to cry, copying him, emulating what he's doing, acting under his instructions. Terrible.
Have you been notified of any information yet by local authorities?
No, we have not.
They
haven't told us nothing.
They said they don't have any major updates.
Do you guys plan on doing a local search of your own?
We are at 4 o'clock here at Kaiba. I fell on the floor, and I said as I got up, I couldn't find my son. I got him out of the car seat.
Even she can't produce any real tears. Now, you'd think she'd be able to produce some tears just because of the fact her baby's dead, for God's sake. She can't produce any tears. It's just so rehearsed. It's so false. I think the police must have known instantly. Well, we all did, really, didn't we? This is a case that right from the outset, nobody believed these people. Sometimes we've had cases where maybe, 50% of people believe what the person says and other people think, no, or, people are not sure. But I think this is a case where right from the outset, this felt wrong to everyone. I mean, was anybody supporting them? I doubt it.
And I laid him down so I could get his diapers ready. And somebody said, "Hola," and that's all I remember. And I saw white. And a hearing sound, I fell on the floor. And I said as I got up, I couldn't.
She genuinely looks happy there, doesn't she? With him there, and I'm presuming it's Jake who's taken this photo. What? I don't know. You just wonder. I mean, what's going to happen to Rebecca? Well, we find this out I think it's not till January, her next hearing. But, what's going to happen to her? he's pled guilty to murder, so she's not likely to get a murder charge, is she? Or, well, she's had a murder charge, but is there going to be some sort of plea deal? Remember that, there's a video that I did just the other day that released a woman only got 6 years for conspiring with her daughter's stepfather who murdered her. She only got charged with perverting the course of justice. She only got a 6-year sentence. And she knew that her partner had murdered her daughter. She even sent texts to herself, supposedly from her daughter, trying to pretend she was still alive, and to her daughter's friends. But she only got 6 years, so is that what Rebecca's going to get? She's going to come out and have more children with another piece of shit. She should be sterilised. Honest to God, I'm really... it sounds dramatic, but I'm really in favour of it. How many children what's happened to the little girl, I wonder? Who is she with now? She doesn't look very happy, does she? I bet she's seen some terrible things, that little girl. I bet she's seen some terrible things. She may have even seen him kill Emmanuel. And maybe didn't mean to kill him. He was probably beating him like he did. And maybe the intention wasn't to kill him, but how many times can you smash a baby's head against the wall, before they die? God's sake. What a horrible, horrible man.
To find my son, I checked all around my truck, and I ran into Big 5, and I asked...
Look at that. There he is. Now, I don't know, maybe Emmanuel was okay there. I don't know, but how, when did it all happen? The police don't even know exactly when he died. They don't know where there's various theories about where his body may have been put. You think Jake would just be able to say, this is what I did with his body? But that the fact that he's not done that, they went out on that search with him. Nothing was found. He's probably done something horrific with the body.
The lady if she saw a baby or someone with a baby. She said no. It was a happy boy.
Happy boy.
He
Yeah,
smiled.
don't look very
Whoever
happy
took our
there.
son.
So look, do you know who he reminds me of? Chris Watts as well. The way he's talking, it's like there are no tears in his eyes there as he was appealing for his son. Unlike in the picture below, as he was getting his sentence, he is genuinely crying. Because the other thing is, he's not going to get a good time in prison, is he? He's like persona non grata as far as the killer baby. There'll be look what just happened to that awful baby abuser over in the UK. The ex-Prophets frontman. I can't remember his name. His name escapes me. His name doesn't matter. But just been murdered by 2 inmates in prison in the UK. This is what happens to these sort of people in prison. And, you'd be struggling to feel sorry for him, wouldn't you? Or to hope it doesn't happen. He's escaped the death penalty. And look at him there, and that poor girl. Oh my God, at least she's had a lucky escape now from him. You even looking at that little girl's face while he's talking there, you can see, I don't know, you feel like she's just seen terrible things.
Please give him back.
The search for this 7-month-old baby boy continues. Police and the family desperate to find out where he is.
Yeah, let's just watch that one more time, actually.
We come to you guys asking you to help us find our son. He was abducted last night from Big 5. Somebody struck my wife while she was trying to change his diaper. And we just ask if anybody knows anything to please contact Ukaipa Police Department.
Don't hesitate, just call.
His name's Emmanuel. He's 7 months. He's 7 months old.
Have you been notified of any information yet by local authorities?
No. We have not.
They're not.
They haven't told us nothing.
They said they don't have any major updates.
Do you guys plan on doing a local search of your own?
We are at 4 o'clock here. I used Kaiba. I fell on the floor, and I said as I got up, I couldn't find my son. I got him out of the car seat, and I laid him down so I could get his diapers ready. And somebody said, "Hola," and that's all I remember. And I saw white, and a hearing sound. I fell on the floor, and I said as I got up, I couldn't find my son. I checked around my truck, and I ran into Big Five, and I asked the lady if she saw a baby or someone with a baby. She said no. It was a happy boy. He smiled.
Whoever took our son, please give him back.
The search for this 7-month-old baby boy continues. Police and the family desperate to find out where he is.
So, yeah, that was how it started, wasn't it? And, you sort of sit and watch that and you just think, what, I don't know how they ever thought they would get believed, but if there's no limits, is there, to people's depravity? Is there? They're anyway, it's sort of almost pointless us trying to understand it. We can't understand it, luckily, because if we could understand it, we'd be a piece of shit as well. So it's good that we can't understand it. Let's have a look at this video. So we're going to look at the victim impact statement from Rebecca's mum in a minute. But first of all, let's just look at this.
25 years to life in prison. That's a sentence Cabazon man is given after he pleads guilty to murdering his 7-month-old son.
Now, really, he's done quite well with 25 years to life. I mean, what does that mean? Does that mean that after 25 years he gets a possibility of parole? Because he's not that old, is he? He'd only be in his 50s, I think. Let's just, I just want to have a look at this as well. Look at him.
To murdering his 7
big piece of shit. Murdering a baby. Size of him. Disgusting man. He's not a man, is he? You see that Rebecca's mum says that as well. He couldn't fight with a real man, with a man. He can only hurt babies and little children because he's a coward. You could push him over probably. I mean, he's obviously had a go at Rebecca. But you know what? If she would have stood up to him, I bet he's a person that if you stood up to him, he'd soon back down because he's just a bully. He's a bully. He couldn't, state of him. Lying around the house, playing his games, watching his sports. Big fucking king of the house. Big I am. Stop that baby from crying. You can just imagine it. The world revolving around this piece of shit. Everybody running around trying to keep him happy. God, disgust. You're hard pushed not to hope that something happens to him, to be honest. And even though I'm trying not to. I just, he's just so disgusting, this man. There's nothing more disgusting than a great big bully like this. Picking on a tiny little baby, ugh.
His 7-month-old son. Baby Emmanuel Haro was reported missing in August. His body has never been found. The judge handing down the sentence to his father, Jake, this afternoon.
Missing kid.
Let's go live to Fox 11. Gina Silva with more from Riverside tonight. Gina?
Well, Marla, Christine, this is a case that has shaken an entire community. Today, the courtroom was packed. It was standing room only, and people were actually turned away. Inside, 32-year-old Jake Haro learned his fate.
Accordingly, I will impose the indeterminate term of 25 years to life.
2 weeks after pleading.
Yeah, he's done really well. I don't know why he's crying, because do you know what? 25 years to life. He's 32 years old. He has got a chance that, oh God, if they ever well, I won't be around to see it. I'll be gone by then, I expect. But I hope he's never, ever allowed a chance to go out and do anything like this again. He won't make that sentence. I'm giving a bit of a forecast now, just as I think something will happen to him in prison. I know they'll probably put him with the other pieces of shit, so they'll try and protect him. But I can't see how he's going to get through a 25-year sentence without somebody doing something to him. This is a baby. It'd be hard pushed to find any, other people like him to put him in with. It's so rare, isn't it, to murder a baby? Who they're going to put him with. I don't think they found enough pieces of shit to put him with.
Guilty to killing his 7-month-old son, Emmanuel, Jake Haro has been sentenced to the maximum penalty under California law, 25 years to life in prison. His attorney argued for a lighter sentence, noting that Haro confessed to the murder, but the judge rejected that request.
While Mr. Haro did plead guilty at an early stage in the proceedings, this does not outweigh the significant and considerable aggravating factors that he has admitted to. It cannot be ignored that Mr. Haro was on probation for severely abusing one child when he decided to assault and kill another child.
He was already on probation. Now, you'll see that the grandma, Rebecca's mum, she says what I've said all along. That judge who let him out in the first place Now, am I back? Am I back? Oh. So the electricity cut off for 1 second or something, 1 second or 2 seconds. But can someone tell me if you can hear me? I know probably a couple of people have left because they thought it was, literally flipped off, the electricity, flipped back on again, then the internet wouldn't come back on. Yeah, I'm back, I'm back. Oh dear me, there's always something, isn't there? So yeah, literally the electricity just went off for wasn't even a second. It was just boom, came back on again instantly, but then the internet wouldn't come back on. So you can hear me now, you can see me okay now. Hi Lily. Yes, so hopefully people will come back to the stream because there's quite a few people watching, and that, of course, they'll all have thought that the stream has ended. Anyway, so let's go back to where we were. Where were we? So we were talking about this. I'm going to put these windows down. So sorry about that. No idea what happened. Just the electricity went off for the briefest second. So we were watching this. I can't remember if we watched all of it or not. Let's watch it again. Technology. It's good when it works, not when it doesn't.
25 years to life in prison. That's a sentence Cabazon man is given after he pleads guilty to murdering his 7-month-old son. Baby Emmanuel Haro was reported missing in August. His body has never been found.
Yeah, so he was reported missing in August. Now, why they all went out to this place, I don't know. It looked like he was trying to show them something as if it was where he'd put the body or whatever, but nothing was found. You can see those guys, they've got their arms crossed. Imagine having to deal with somebody like that. You know, they'd probably love to give him a beating themselves. But, you know, they can't do that. So they've got to be civil to him and respectful to him, even though they know he's a piece of shit that's murdered a baby and he's led them on some wild goose chase.
The judge handing down the sentence to his father, Jake, this afternoon. Let's go live to Fox 11. Gina Silva with more from Riverside tonight. Gina?
Well, Marla, Christine, this is a case that has shaken an entire community. Today, the courtroom was packed. It was standing room only, and people were actually turned away. Inside, 32-year-old Jake Haro learned his fate.
Accordingly, I will impose the indeterminate term of 25 years to life.
2 weeks after pleading guilty to killing his 7-month-old son, Emmanuel, Jake Haro has been sentenced to the maximum penalty under California law, 25 years to life in prison. His attorney argued for a lighter sentence, noting that Haro confessed to the murder, but the judge rejected that request.
Well, you know, we say all the time, I know somebody's got to do it, but who could be a defense lawyer? How could you sit next to that man knowing that he's murdered a baby and argue for a lighter sentence? And not only that he's murdered one of his babies, but he also had put into critical condition another child of his own child. You know, how you know, I know somebody's got to do it. I know everyone's entitled to a defense. I understand that, and I try and stick with that. But knowing that he'd done this to his previously to a baby, and God knows what he did to Emmanuel, but enough to kill him. So, you know, this is not even an isolated incident, a moment of rage. This is systematic abuse of babies over years. And she's arguing for a lighter sentence. How does she sleep at night? You know, I couldn't do it. I know I couldn't do it. If I was sat next to him there, I'd be punching him.
Haro did plead guilty at an early stage in the proceedings. This does not outweigh the significant and considerable aggravating factors that he has admitted to. It cannot be ignored that Mr. Haro was on probation for severely abusing one child when he decided to assault and kill another child.
Right before the judge handed out the sentence, Emmanuel's maternal grandmother had this to say.
It destroyed my whole family.
Now we're going to watch a full victim impact statement. This is just a little bit of it. So this is Rebecca's mother.
He branded his children for life. He damaged her children, all his children for life. He changed my daughter for where we don't know who she is.
Rebecca Haro, who first told reporters her baby had been kidnapped on August 14th, continues to insist she is innocent. Meanwhile, community members following the case say they're frustrated that Emmanuel's body still hasn't been found. Many believe the sentence wasn't harsh enough.
I wish he would have gotten the death penalty for the innocent baby that he took. That was his son.
He shouldn't have, he should just have life, with no parole.
Life
without parole. Now that he got sentenced, where's the baby? Just say it. Just where's the baby? He deserved better.
Oh.
Haro received an additional 6.
It's ironic, isn't it? All these strangers caring more about this baby than his own parents. And as far as Rebecca's mum's concerned, when she spoke there, my heart goes out to her because as a grandparent as well, you've got no control, have you, over what twonks your daughter ends up going off with, or your son, because women aren't above this kind of thing either. So, it's just heartbreaking for everyone. But Jake could only find his tears when he got sentenced to life. He's not crying for Emmanuel. If he hadn't murdered Emmanuel, probably an accident, he was probably abusing him and Emmanuel died. That's probably what happened. He probably didn't think, I'm going to actually murder him, because he wouldn't want to get into trouble. But he just thought he could carry on abusing him. And then Emmanuel died, and then it was a big panic. He couldn't find any tears then, though, could he? Not genuine tears. But now he's finding the genuine tears because he's going to prison for 25 years minimum. He probably will, even though he's got a chance of parole. I don't expect he will get parole, but who knows? Where's... just speechless, really.
6 years and 4 months for related charges, and they will be served consecutively. Meanwhile, Rebecca Haro will be back in court on January 21st. I'll send it back to you in the studio.
And, she just...
So she'll be back in court on January the 21st. What's going to happen to her?
Just asked, where's the baby? Any indication that he is going to give up those specifics?
The DA is not giving any information on that. Hopefully, one day, they'll find that baby. But as of now, we don't know.
All right, Gina. Thank you so much. Thanks, Gina.
Now, it's important to remember that the police did say they had a good idea of where the baby was, but they still haven't found the baby. So, are they searching? As far as we know, nobody seems to think they are searching, but they must still be searching. But is it? I wonder if it's at a landfill site or somewhere like that. And I don't know. Anyway, we don't know. So we don't know. As I say, lots of theories. Some people, because it was that RV that was set on fire near the home. Some people think maybe that was something to do with destroying baby Emmanuel's remains. Other people think he's gone into a landfill or something like that. And you'll see that the grandmother, because the last time that the Haros were seen, it was a funeral, wasn't it, of another child in the family. And the grandmother makes a statement in her victim impact statement. Did they put the baby in with that baby? Oh my God. The trouble is we don't know exactly when it happened, when he died. We don't know how, you know, they've had ages to cover up this, you know, before they finally came out with that ludicrous story about the Mexican kidnapping the baby. They had plenty of time, you know, to think about where to put the body to hide it properly, you know. So I hope the police are still looking into all that, and there's a chance that they might find this baby, because it doesn't matter. I mean, the baby, Emmanuel, hopefully is sleeping in the arms of Jesus or playing with all the other murdered children that have gone off into heaven. But his body, you know, just to give him a funeral for the family as well, just to know he's not lying out there in a rubbish tip somewhere, would be something, wouldn't it? Anyway, let's have a look at the grandma's impact statement, victim impact statement now. It was very emotional, I thought. Let me...
I want Jake to look at me.
Now, it's not the best audio, I'm afraid. Now, first, she started off by saying that she wanted to speak directly to Jake, asking Jake to turn around and face her, which, of course, he didn't do because he's a cowardly piece of shit. And, of course, the judge can't force him to do that. She's supposed to address the court, not the actual perpetrator, unfortunately. But anyway. Oh, what? Why is it not playing? The video is bad or in a format that cannot be played on your browser. Oh God, it's one of those days for technological problems today. Let's find it. See if I can find it somewhere else. So they streamed it on Court TV. I was watching it. I did watch it as it happened. But I don't want to play the whole video because it's... There it is, the sentencing. I just want to see the grandma's... There she is. Now, I'm presuming you can see this and hear it all right now. Yeah, so that's 2 technical issues we've had. There's bound to be a third one. Yeah, he won't look at her. He won't look at her. Oh, he turned a little bit there, but see what's going on. So probably the guy's saying to you, look, you can't make him face you. She never even met Emmanuel, because by the time Rebecca had Emmanuel, she was isolated from her family. That's what abusers do, isn't it? They isolate you from your friends and family that's what Jake did with Rebecca. And so this poor grandma, she never even met Emmanuel. Very telling that, isn't it? She was never that same person after she went to live with him. So, you know, come on, Rebecca, you've got to wake up now and bloody start talking, because you're safe from him now. You know, I think Rebecca, probably before she met Jake, probably would never, you know, this would not be something she would ever have got involved in. But then she met him and he changed her. But she's not speaking out against him now. You know, and even her, you know, mum is saying that she doesn't even know who she is anymore. That's how much she allowed this man to control her. Oh, she didn't even know she had the other granddaughter, Mackenzie, and she only met her because she had a stroke. So Rebecca did go and see her. God. Oh. Oh. You can't hear the video. Oh, no. Oh, dear. Can you hear me speaking? Can you hear me speaking? Can you hear why? I don't know why we can't hear the video, because it's got, look, sounds up. Let me go back, make sure my microphone's working. Oh, so that's the third thing. So we've had the electricity went off and the internet went off. Then we've had that the other video wouldn't play. Now this video's playing, but you can't hear it, for God's sake. What's going on? What's going on? Let me, I don't know what I can do about it. I'll try one more time. Can you hear it now or not? You still can't hear it. Let's try. Right, I'm going to try just putting it up there again. Don't know what's going on with the technical things today. Go back to
objection to imposing court fees and fines. Mr. Haro is indigent. He's a public defender client. I believe that the court is going to sentence him to a lengthy sentence.
Can you hear it now?
Prior to his arrest, he was unable to work and was receiving disability. So we would object to the court imposing any court fees and fines. If the court is going to assess a restitution fine, it is based, or the defense requests that based on the indigency, that the court set it no higher than $300, which is the minimum.
Okay. And Mr. Smith, Mr. Robinson, do you want to be heard in regards to that?
Yes, I'd say that while I intend to submit in large part on this,
can you hear it now?
I saw the court. I do want to reiterate that while I understand the court has some discretion in this matter regarding the sentence and
can you hear it now?
fines and fees, I want to emphasize that this sentence deserves no
right, let's try again, shall we?
in any regard, as to sentence.
Later, I'll be.
The court is well aware of how this.
I'm going to edit this video, edit out all the crap and put it on, load it
law
up
enforcement and the public
without all the tech issues.
Creating this public panic about a child being kidnapped and the resources that were expended in order
Come on, we want to hear the
investigate
grandma.
those lies of the defendant need to be addressed.
It's here.
It's
Here we go. Mary, her name is, bless her.
Hello, ma'am. And Mr. Smith, if we can have an introduction, please.
Yes, so this is Emmanuel Haro's maternal grandmother. And her first name is Mary, M-A-R-Y. And I'll have her spell her last name.
B-U-S-H-A-U-S-E-N.
Good afternoon, ma'am, and thank you for being here today. And ma'am, I want to make sure that I hear everything that you have to say, that our court reporter can take down everything that you have to say, and that we have an accurate record. We've cleared our entire afternoon, so you don't feel the need to be rushed. So whenever you're ready, you can speak loudly and clearly and slowly for us. But whenever you're ready.
I want Jake to look at me. I want him to face me.
And ma'am, if you can address the court.
Look at him, bloody coward.
Face me. To look at me.
Okay.
I don't know if his family are there. You know, what does his mom think of him? I wonder.
Speak up as loud as you can, please.
I wanted Jake to face me, to look at me, because I told him that I would be here for his sentencing before he was arrested. I talked to him about, as a friend, to tell me everything, because he didn't give me the opportunity to meet my grandson. He destroyed my whole family. He branded his children for life. He damaged her children, all his children for life. And in doing that, he destroyed my family, my children, everybody in my family. All my children are destroyed by this. He changed.
It's on maximum volume, Alana. I don't know how to boost it anymore. Sorry. It might be better with headphones. It is quiet, though. She's talking a bit more loudly now.
My daughter, over, we don't know who she is. He never gave me a chance to see my grandchildren. He kept my daughter away. I don't know what he did or how he changed my daughter's life. But she was never that same person after she went to live with him. The only reason Rebecca came back, because in March I had a stroke. And my son got hold of her and told her I was in ICU. That's how I met Mackenzie, my 2-year-old granddaughter. I didn't even know she existed. I was not aware that she was pregnant with Mackenzie. I was not aware that she was pregnant with him.
Imagine not even knowing that your daughter had had a child, that you had a granddaughter, and the only way you find out is because you have a stroke and you're in intensive care.
Emmanuel, I never met Emmanuel. He deprived everybody. And it has hurt my children because the media has torn all of my children apart, okay? Because they say, Grandma knows, Grandma isn't on it, Grandma doesn't know nothing. If I had known what was going on, I would have take my daughter out of there forcefully, or I would have called the police. My sons would have come and got her, okay? Never did we ever knew anything. If I had known when I called social service when Rebecca moved in, I called social service to let them know that I didn't like him. Because my granddaughter Irene was afraid. She didn't want to be there. She called me and she says, Grandma, I don't want to be there. Okay, so I called social service. I asked social service to give me a report of what had happened, what they found out.
Yeah. So she'd called social services. The problem is you call social services, you can't just say, oh, well, I don't like him, and she didn't like him. But the other granddaughter had said she didn't want to be there. She was scared to be there. Social services knew about this man. And of course, he had had that other offence that he'd done. I mean, it's beyond belief, isn't it? And you'll see, she says in a minute, the judge that let him out, that allowed him to go on and kill Emmanuel, he should be in that courtroom as well. He should be facing charges because Emmanuel, it might not have happened what happened to him if, it wouldn't, it wouldn't have happened. He wouldn't have been allowed to go on and abuse other children if he would have been given a proper sentence for the first offence.
Oh no, she's fine. The house is beautiful. They have food in the fridge. That's it.
Yeah. So social services went round there and said, oh, they've got food in the fridge and the house is clean and tidy. So everything's fine. God. I'll tell you what, I hope there's some heads rolling over this, one way or another. Surely all these authorities that knew or were warned about Jake, they didn't even need a warning. They had the photos. Do you know what I mean? They know what happened. They know what happened to this little girl. They know that that's not somebody just saying what happened. That is proof, photographs. This girl will be disabled for the rest of her life because of what this piece of shit did to her. And then the authorities let him out to do the same to Emmanuel. They need to face charges, in my opinion. I mean, that is just, I know it's difficult for social services to establish exactly what's going on. But in Jake's case, he had previous history. It wasn't like there was no red flags. There were loads of red flags. There was more red flags than Red Square in Moscow.
Social service came and told me what he had done to promise his other children. Nothing of this would be here. We wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be here. My grandchildren, Emmanuel wouldn't be gone. Mackenzie wouldn't have been born. Because he had already done a lot of horrible things to his other children. He branded those children for life. And in the same way, branded all my children too. Because I can't go nowhere without they asking me. Every time I go to the store or somebody recognizes me, they attack me, on social media, everywhere. And that is not my doing or my children. This has been horrible for us. I was glad the day that got arrested because I fear for my daughter's life. I fear for everybody. And, you know, he had a second chance. My daughter didn't have a chance with him. Or his children. His children didn't have a second chance. And I think the judge that let him go should be here sitting with him. And so is social service. Because they could have...
Yeah, well said, Mary. That judge should be in court being tried, and so should the social services. They missed that many red flags. You know, that baby, the blood of that baby is on their hands as well. It might be Jake who did it. They allowed it to happen. They had the power to prevent it happening, and they didn't.
Told me, oh no, protocol doesn't allow us to tell you anything.
Protocol.
Well, how are we supposed to protect our children if we don't know? The court knows what's going on. I didn't know. I called social service. I didn't know what he had done to his other children.
Yeah. So they didn't know what he'd done to the other children. So, you know, I think you're right there, David. These people, they should have something tattooed on their forehead. You know, I have abused the child, you know, like, so that everybody knows. Because at the, you know, you could meet a twonk. You know, if you were on, I don't know, you could go to a bar, you could go on social media, you can meet these twonks anywhere. I don't know where Jake and Rebecca met. They might have met at a party. They might, you know, they might have mutual friends, or it might have been like a Tinder type situation or dating agency. It doesn't matter, because you can meet these people anywhere. Thing is, once you meet someone who's, you know, well, any age really, but certainly as they get older, like late 20s, 30s, that have had other relationships, you don't know what they've done before. Maybe Rebecca didn't even know about the other child, what had happened. Who knows if she knew? Did she? Well, she would have known quite quickly. She would have known that Emmanuel was being abused and that she was being abused, of course. But this grandma didn't know. You know, your daughter meets someone tomorrow, or your son. You know, it makes you think you should do a bloody check on them. You know, you should do a check on them. Remember with Anna Knezovich, the David Knezovich had started sort of writing to that girl in Colombia. Was it Colombia? Anyway, and her mother luckily did do a check on his name and found that his wife was missing. And he was under suspicion for her being missing. And that's how David Knezovich, or part of the reason how David Knezovich got caught. Because that mother was clever enough to check up on his name and to find that there was suspicious things about him. But, you know, you don't always think of that, do you? You know, imagine if you've got children tomorrow, adult children, tomorrow they bring home a partner, a man or a woman, because women can have these convictions as well. You wouldn't think, oh, I'll go and do a check on their criminal history, but you should do it. God, you've got to check everybody out, you know, and I don't know what difference it could have made, but she's saying that social service didn't tell her anything because protocol meant they couldn't tell her. So she didn't know that he was already a child abuser. And like she said, she would have got her daughter out there. She would have sent the brothers over to sort him out. You know, there are things they could have done.
And here he sits, you know, like nothing. Somebody will give him another chance. And I don't want that. Because he didn't give his children a chance.
Exactly.
He didn't give my daughter a chance.
He doesn't deserve another
to be happy to take care of her children.
He's had one already.
My 20-year-old granddaughter, my 18-year-old granddaughter are a mess because of him.
Yeah, I bet.
Mackenzie is totally changed. A little baby, a 2-year-old girl that has nothing, okay?
Yeah, because little Mackenzie, the 2-year-old, I mean, she's got a grandma and the rest of the family, I suppose, but she's lost her mum and her dad. And not only that, she's going to grow up knowing what piece of shit her dad is and that he murdered her little brother. You know, that's a life sentence for her. She's not going to get parole after 25 years. In 25 years, when she's 27, she'll be just dealing with it properly because she's too young to deal with it properly now. So, you know, this man, he should never have been given a chance of parole. It's too light, actually. The more I think about this sentence now, it's too light. I don't believe in the death penalty. So I'm happy that he didn't get the death penalty, really, because it's not in my nature to believe in the death penalty. But he should have got life without parole. I can't believe that he's got parole, really.
I'm very, very stressed out, very angry at the justice system for letting this guy, giving him a chance. Who gave my grandchildren a chance, a second chance? Did CPS check? Why didn't they tell me? Oh, look, this is what that guy does. He takes it out on the children, on the baby. He can't do it to a grown person. He's not man enough to do it to a man.
Exactly.
Okay?
He's not man enough to do it to a man. He takes out his frustrations, probably pathetic frustrations. Maybe his PlayStation game's not going very well, or his football team lost, or I mean, what frustration? He doesn't even work. He just lies around the house all day. But if he gets frustrations, because he's King Dick of the house, isn't he? Everybody running around him. Oh, keep that baby quiet. I'm watching the match. Or, oh my God, I've just died on my game because of that baby crying. And he took it out on a baby, and he wouldn't know how to deal with a man. Do you know what I mean? He's a coward. He's a bully. He's a revolting button mushroom type man. And what Rebecca saw in him, I don't know. Poor Rebecca just must be so desperate for a boyfriend. Was she so desperate for a boyfriend that she could not see through that horrible man? But anyway, and even now, she's not really saying anything against him, is she?
He destroys so many lives. His mom, his brother, everybody. Okay? Nobody wants to be here. Nobody wanted to come and look at it. But I had to speak for my grandson and my grandchildren, and for my children too, because they're going through every hell in this world, okay?
Thank you, Mom.
I didn't mourn my grandson that he passed away. We buried him on the 5th of August, and they were saying that, oh, we probably bury Emmanuel in my grandson's, when we bury.
Yeah, so, gosh, I mean, they haven't had much luck, this family, have they? I mean, so she lost another grandson. I'm not sure what happened to them. And they were buried. And she said people are saying that they put Emmanuel in that coffin, because these are the sort of rumours that go around. While Emmanuel's not found, there'll be a lot of rumours about where he might be. And I just hope and pray that the police are working on it and that they will find this boy and put all these rumours to rest, because that's a horrible thought, isn't it? To think of one of your other grandchild who died. People are saying that maybe Emmanuel was put in their coffin. They had to live with a lot, this family. It's terrible. And all because of that giant piece of shit with a mushroom sitting there crying about himself.
My grandson, okay? I lost my grandson on the 5th. We buried my grandson on the 5th of August. Then he calls me on the 14th of August and says that Emmanuel is kidnapped. And then my sister passes on the 17th of August.
Oh.
We didn't have a chance to mourn any of my... Oh
my God, so she's lost one of her grandsons passed, couple of days later, they ring her to say that Emmanuel's been kidnapped, and then her sister died. My God, this poor woman. It's a wonder she can, she's done so well to actually stand there and give this victim impact statement.
My sister, my grandson, my other grandson, none. Because everybody was angry at everybody because how could this happen? Why? I wish you could look at me and tell me why. He was never in my house. He knew I didn't like him. He knew I called social service, and that's why he kept my daughter away. He changed her so she couldn't have no contact with me or his brothers. Okay? Had I had not had a stroke, I would have never met Mackenzie.
I mean, at least she's got the dignity or the decency to turn away from him, and she's got the decency to look at her. He's just sobbing away, a pathetic little man baby, crying away about because he knows he's going into prison for life. He didn't give a shit what he did to Emmanuel or to his other child.
Or, you know, probably heard it on the news about Emmanuel, okay? So don't blame my children. The media has blamed my children, everybody. The TikTokers, everybody. Grandma Mary knows. I don't know nothing, okay? And I stand here with you, asking you to give him the maximum. Because he didn't, I don't want him to give him another chance. He didn't give nobody a chance. He had many chances. He had a chance. The judge gave him a second chance. The probation gave him another chance. The CPS, oh well, you know, no, he's fine. He's got food in the fridge and the house is clean.
Terrible.
That doesn't cut it, okay? And that's not fair to the children to let somebody out like that.
You know, as I said before, children, they're not protected enough in our societies because they don't produce anything. They're not, you know, children are just, they're just not protected enough, like children, old people, because once in a capitalist society, once people stop producing or they're not producing yet, they're just not cared for enough. You know, I've really come to see this as I've been doing this true crime channel. Children are just, you know, and listen, I've got friends who work for the social services, and I know it's not an easy job. In the UK, it's a nightmare job because, you know, sometimes you feel that you can't do the right thing, but there's got to be a better way. I mean, in this particular case, anyway, it wasn't even just in doubt, was it? He had already done it before. So this isn't a case of, oh, a bit suspicious about how he's treating the children, but we've got no reason to think that he might be doing anything wrong. This is not that case. This case is, oh, here's a man who violently abused a little baby before and left them, you know, blind, disabled, needing 24-hour care for the rest of their lives. You know, they had a background on this man. It wasn't the first time. So the social services are wrong here. And the social services do have a difficult job. And I can understand if there'd never been anything happen before, but they had, and they knew. And they still did nothing. You know what? Because they just want to move on to the next case. They're probably under-resourced. It's like, you know, it's like, oh, well, yeah, we went round there. The house is clean. There's food in the fridge. He abused that other baby, but that doesn't mean to say he's doing it again.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. I'm just very, very upset and very stressed out.
And, ma'am, no need to apologize. This proceeding here is for you to make your impact statement to talk about how the crime has affected you and your family. I do want to lead with, I'm sorry for your loss. I'm sorry for all the hurt that you and your family have gone through.
I heard.
And I want to thank you for being here today.
I'm here because I'm the only one that wanted to be here because my children don't trust themselves to come in and talk because they're so upset, so angry at this system, what they did. How could they give him a second chance when you see the pictures of the little girl? How?
Exactly, how?
That's beyond me.
Second chance for a man who did this.
Drunk driving tickets and you go to jail or you pay a goddamn fine. And he, a slap on the hand, go and do community work. Okay?
Huh?
How does that happen, Your Honor?
You wouldn't want him in your community, would you, doing community work? But yeah, looking at the pictures of that little girl, how could he have been released? Yeah, you could not pay your TV license, you'd get a bigger sentence than Jake got. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's unbelievable. It's like that child did not matter at all to that judge. That judge just needs absolute, something should be done. I hope he is disbarred. He certainly should be disbarred. Sticking up for a piece of shit like that and giving him a second chance when he's seen the photos of that little girl. What sort of a judge is that? Anyway, as you say, Alana, very dignified, this woman. So let's think about what this woman's had to put up with this year. She had a stroke. She's lost one grandchild. Then she lost another grandchild. And then a sister died. But she still found the strength to come up here and do this victim impact statement. She's the only person. The rest of the family just didn't even want to go there. They probably couldn't trust themselves around him, this man. You know, just think about how, I'm just thinking about what I would do. You know, like, oh my God, you'd have to hold me back. You know, because the victims' families have always got to show restraint, haven't they? But, you know, you literally would want to, you know, go for him, wouldn't you? You really would. You know, it's just human nature. This man is beyond redemption.
I don't know how did that happen.
Anything else, ma'am?
No. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Smith, Mr. Robinson, any other impact statements on behalf of the people?
No, thank you.
Ms. Garthwaite, Ms. Lowe, no impact statements on behalf of the defense?
No, thank you, Your Honor.
And submitting on your motion?
Yes.
Submitting on your motion?
Yes.
So he had nothing to say, nothing more to say in his defense, just sit there, wait for the verdict.
So the court is now going to...
So he starts to pontificate on the verdict then, and basically, I mean, it goes on quite a long time. Let's just fast forward a bit.
You have credits of 72 plus 72 for a total of 1. As much justice is done as possible. To that end, the court imposes the aforementioned terms of imprisonment, fines, and penalties and assessments, and will be filing a written order of today's sentence. Anything else at this time before I sentence him or transport it forward?
I wonder if there was any drugs or, you know, was he smoking drugs or taking drugs or drinking?
I just wanted to inquire, it's my understanding that the court did impose this.
No, I don't know.
There's
no excuse.
Use those documents. If you're not going to use the documents, then I will not review them and we'll keep them.
Okay, so really I just wanted to show her victim impact statement. Yeah. So yeah, we still don't know where Emmanuel is. We've got Rebecca's hearing coming up in January. But at least as far as this guy's concerned, you know, he has gone in the hellhole. I've shown him before. I put him in the hellhole a while ago, but he's into the hellhole. And that really will be a hellhole for this man, because you know what? In prison, there's nothing worse than being known as a baby killer, is there? Nothing worse. this guy, his his life in prison he'll constantly have to keep an eye out what he's doing. He'd be frightened of leaving his cell, I would imagine, unless he's been put with another load of baby killers. I mean, oh my God. Now, I just want to say a little word for his family as well, because I don't even know, but his brother died in mysterious circumstances in Jake's house. That's, a whole nother story, but I don't know how Jake's mum and dad or the rest of his family feel about it all. They weren't there, or there's been not much said from them, but, it'd be very hard to find out that your son had done something like that as well. So, again, that was their grandchild as well. So I don't know how that all works. But anyway, he's gone. He's gone. He's in prison. He's going to prison for quite a long time, but not forever. He will have a chance of parole. And at the end of the day, 25 years to life, and Alana's saying there 31 years because he got some other years for other misdemeanors that he'd done. But, he's only in his 30s. So even if he did the whole 31 years, if he then was released, he's only going to be, I say only going to be in his 60s. For those of us that are in our 60s, that's still young. He's still going to get a life. He's still going to get a bit of a life afterwards. Whereas if he gets that far, I personally don't think he's going to get that far. I think something will happen to this man, or he may even do something to himself. You know what? But that's his karma. It's his karma's face. He had a chance. He unbelievably had a second chance after he did what he did to the first child of his. And then he did it again. So, it's hard to feel any empathy for him whatsoever. And you can only, you almost want him to suffer. And for Rebecca, I don't know. We'll see what happens. I was struck by what a mum had said, that they don't recognise Rebecca now from the person that she was before. I think he has definitely had this effect on her. But then that's her choice as well, isn't it? It's her karma. And once I understand when she was in the relationship, it's difficult, you'd be terrified, all that. But once she was out of the, once they were arrested, she could have come clean then, so... Okay, I think I'm going to go and have a beer because that's really depressed me. But it hasn't depressed me. It's good. It's good that he's got the sentence. I just want Emmanuel to be found, and then Rebecca to get her just desserts as well in January. And it'd be interesting to see what comes out there. Rebecca cannot say she didn't know, because she came out with that big false story about the Mexican kidnapping Jake. Sorry, not Jake, Emmanuel. It wasn't Jake who came out with that story. It was Rebecca. So she obviously colluded with him. She can't say she didn't know. It wasn't like Jake told the story and Rebecca didn't know anything about it. She knew. And so she cannot deny that. Okay, I'll see you very soon in the next video. Thank you so much for watching, especially thank you for caring about this little boy. As I say, it's ironic, isn't it? All the people that care more about little Emmanuel than his own parents. At least his granny cared about him, even though she never met him. But she cared, and that's good. And he would have, it's a shame he never met his grandma, because he would have got some love there. But anyway, bless him. I'll see you really soon in the next video. Let's put a candle up for Emmanuel. And until then, may your God go with you. Bye.